Alright, so just for reference, it's October 1st, 2020. Yeah, I got this 89 C4 somewhere about February. Really haven't done much with it other than order some hood cables. And I was looking around the internet and they said this is what you need, this tool, to open this in case your cables break or something like that. Well, first of all, if you have an issue with your cables, they don't break, but you still can't open them because they're stretched out or whatever. First of all, I'll just show you that. And there's this little bracket in there, and sorry I took this apart 8 months ago and I'm not doing a play-by-play on it, but this is what you'll have. You'll have this this is what you're going to have. The cables are going to go in there. You're going to pull back on this lever and it's going to pull the cables loose. In my case, I've got one popped already. This is how you hook them up to a pair of vice grips and you pull on it and it should release the little hood latch. That's not the fun part. We're going to do the fun part. Jeez, sorry. This never amazes me, never ceases to amaze me how freaking low this thing is. Drove a somewhere mid-90s ER1 once. Wow, that was impressive. Don't remember it being this low. So anyway, why am I coming over here? I'm just going to come over here because this is what I'm going to do. In case you haven't noticed, this one hasn't run in 5 years or so. I'm going to have fun. Anyway, so what happened in this case, these cables got stretched out or something, so they put some little crush weights on there to make up for the slack. And then what the cables do is basically pull these latches over. Well, if the cables break, I think basically you can take these, you take the wheel off, and I think you can take these fender covers out and reach up in there somehow and get in there. But this is the deal. I will put a little diagram at the end of this. One thing I have not seen anybody do, I've seen there's a Corvette place that shows you how to make, or not how to make them, but they sell them, and I think there's some other videos on there, but I haven't seen anybody actually open their hood with one. So I did it. I haven't practiced this since February, so we're going to do a real world test. I'm only going to latch this side, but it'll be the same on both sides, just opposite. What you're going to end up doing is reaching up under here, and you're going to reach in there, and you're going to, which way am I going? That way? Or that way? That way. So we're going to go in and we're going to push this thing over like that. You're going to tear this seal up, no doubt, but of course my seals are all crap anyway. So I'm going to drop this back down and let's see how long it takes me to actually do it. I probably will carry this thing as an emergency tool, but hopefully if you notice that your cables are starting to get worn and it's getting harder and you have to pull farther back or whatever, your best by far best thing to do is just replace the cables. I haven't done that yet, but it looks pretty straightforward. They're just right there, which can't be hard to do. Of course, you got to feed them down through under the panel, so we'll show you how to do that too. All right, let me get set up here and we're gonna go for it. All right, this is gonna be attempt number one. When I say attempt number one, I mean just that, attempt number one. Plus, hopefully you can see what I'm gonna do. The main thing, because I'll probably be in the way. All right, so you got this little tool. As I recall, it's got to go up under here. There's a rail running along there you got to get on next to. So let's see, how did I do this? I should have practiced, but chances are you're not going to practice either until you're doing the real thing. got. I put a little mark on here to tell me how far in to go. I'm going to assume it's coming up into there. Wow, I guess I should pay attention to that too. That little notch, there's a little notch in there. Okay, so turn the prong in that way. Okay. You can hear the spring. Okay, so I'm close. By far the best way is to get a good look at what you're doing first, which I should have done. When I said I've done this before, so I'm just going to assume that I'm going to be able to figure it out again. Down the edge of the rail. There's a slot in there. And there's my notch. That's amazing, isn't it? Is that actually even open? Yeah, okay. Well, my lens didn't open all the way, but hopefully you saw that. I'm going to try to hold it where it is. This hood's really hard. And if you can see it. Jeez. Largest single fiberglass piece on any automobile ever, I believe is what that was. The hood on that Vette. Sorry, I'm taking my tripod off. My lens cover's not open all the way, but that's irritating. Sorry, let me try to fix it. Here. Ha! How professional, Howie. So anyway, this is what you're doing. There's this little notch in here. Sorry. Little notch in here when you look up through this direction. So you have to point this thing in this direction. And you have to shove it up in here. I said you're going to rip that seal. It ends up coming in here, and then you turn it this way. It ends up going right along this rail. So you gotta pay attention here. Alright, try that again. Okay, go in this direction. You turn it this way, and you'll end up going on this rail. Now where's it? Spraying I was bouncing on. I've heard that before. Huh. That's weird. Anyway, so focus. That notch, can you see the notch? I'm having a hard time seeing the notch. The notch goes right at the base of the windshield here. And that tells you how far to go. And you will feel it drop in there, and you just simply turn it and it pops it open. Same thing on the other side. If you lost both your cables, if you ignored all the warning signs, your cables are gone, you'd have to tear through this one here. Where are you? Man. Oh, I'm having a terrible time pointing. Anyway, you got to tear through this one. Same thing, it pops in there. The notch, basically at the base of the trim on the windshield. Turn it that way. And you pop them loose. Alright, let me go draw up the diagram on this with the dimensions. And that'll be about it. Okay, here's my highly professional and engineering. Yeah, I know, it looks terrible. Anyway, 17.5 inches long. This little bend thing, here's a kind of a breakdown of the little bend. It's about 3 inches. You want to drop about that much just so when you're reaching in, it reaches down into the hole there. The end's about 3 3/4 inches. I use a 3/8 inch diameter aluminum rod, which I just happen to have. I like to use whatever I happen to have around. Let's say it's 3 3/4 on there. As you can see, I put it on a vertical belt sander and just kept going around until I got it to a relative point-ish. It's got to be small enough to go in that hole, but you don't want it too small that it bends. Hopefully it's not something you're going to use a lot. But I could see hanging onto this thing for emergencies inside. One thing I did not put a measurement on yet. There it is. Very important. Yeah, there we go again, this one-handed thing. That little cut is, well, it's 4.5 inches from that end. More importantly, it's basically 13 inches. So the little cut part, let's say 13 inches. That lines up with the windshield when you're putting it in there, the edge of the trim of the windshield. So that tells you where the hole is, and it's always important to know where the hole is. Alright, hopefully that's enough information there. Make yourself one of these, throw it in the back somewhere. You never know. Maybe you can save one of your Corvette friends out someday. Save them when they're, help them out. Jeez, you can't talk either. Okay, that's about it. Good luck.